Hey YouTube, Cinny Steve back with another video, and I know it's been a while. I've still been getting plenty of games and different setups here and there, but that's not what this video is about. I know I usually do my little tour at the beginning, but this is solely an Amiga pickups video. I've had a huge bundle, and I figured if I do the sort of walk around, it will sort of spoil because I've got sort of spaces on the shelves and stuff. So yeah, I just really need to get this video out of the way first, and then I'll show you what else I've been getting up to, like arcade wise and a few other bits. But yeah, this is solely going to be Amiga pickup. So if you're not into that, I wouldn't waste your time, because I must have about 70 to 80 games here that I'm going to reel off. As I say, I had an absolute epic bundle, but I've also had a few games that I've bought sort of separately, if you like, which I'll get out of the way. So yeah, I'll leave the bundle till in a bit. As I think I've got about 8 or 9 games that I've bought separately, and then an absolute unreal bundle, which is a really long story. I'll try and keep it as simple as I can. But yeah, I'll reel off the single games I've been buying. This absolute fantastic purchase, Wanderer 3D. It's a really rare game. I know on Hall of Light they haven't even got a box scan of it, and basically it come up on eBay in, I think it was with a 1200, and I saw it, couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, oh wow, because I'd never seen it before, and obviously I'm going for a full Elite games library, games published by Elite. So yeah, the guy was really nice. I said, look, if you could sell me that separately, that'd be amazing. He was like, oh, sort of what are you offering? And I was like, I'll give you 20 quid for it all day long. In fact, no, I think I offered 30 quid. I said, I'll give you 30 quid. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. I can sort that out, but like, let me test it. I said, look, don't worry about testing it. Like, it'll be fine. Like, if it needs cleaning, I can sort that out. He's like, yeah, no, I prefer to test it. If you're paying 30 quid, it's quite strong money for a really old rubbish game. And I was like, to be honest, I probably would have paid double. But he tried it, and he said like it had like Populous on it or something like that. And I was a bit like, oh yeah, that is a bit rubbish. I said I'll give you 20 quid purely because I thought if I've got to reload the game on the disc, and then it's sort of not exactly legit. But it turned up and it was absolutely fine. Like, I don't know what he was trying, but I loaded up straight away, title screen. So yeah, really, it's not a very good game, but not one you see very often. So happy to add that. And then we've got Feud. I don't know much about this game, if I'm honest. I just remember we had it on C64. So yeah, it's just really nostalgic artwork to me. To be honest, I don't even know if it's any good. But again, I'd love to get like all the Mastertronics games, like the early Mastertronics games for the Amiga. There is quite a lot. Next up, we have Bionic Commando. It's pretty atrocious, this game on Amiga. I believe the C64 version is pretty good, but yeah, the Amiga version is not that good. And for some reason, I don't know why people do that. You see this a lot, where they put the inlay the wrong way in the case. I'll sort that out later. How much was that? I think that was about 20 quid, something like that. Feud was about a tenner, I think. I'm sure it was a tenner. Next up, we have Nebulous. Bit of an iconic game from Houston. I always quite like the graphics, the way it would sort of rotate. Again, really surprised I didn't own this. So yeah, I just thought I would get it. So I do have a real soft spot for dual case games on the Amiga. These next two are a little bit boring, but all part of the Gremlin library, so had to be gotten. This is Ultimate Golf and Greg Norman's Ultimate Golf, which I'm 99% sure they're both exactly the same game, but obviously just like a rebrand. Both really cheap, both in really nice condition actually, so was happy to add those two. There's still quite a few Gremlin games left to get. It's really hard to get sort of a full set of Gremlin games, I'm noticing. Then next up we have Paradroid 90. It's a real weird one, this. I've seen it go for sort of 50 plus, and I've also seen it go for just like 20 odd. I think this was about £32, something like that. But yeah, all complete, and it's all pretty nice. So it's so weird. Like I've got my lists, and as I say, it's mostly sort of Sega, Capcom, like Psygnosis, Ocean, Gremlin, Elite, Team 17. But the more games I had like this, like Houston, and I then realised I'm only sort of about 3 or 4 away from getting a full set of, say, like Houston games, and I'm thinking, oh, I might as well just get them. But honestly, it just keeps going and going and going. Big thanks to Big Mike on this one. He gave me a heads up. Christmas Lemmings 94, not an easy game to get hold of. I've been after it for quite a while. No instructions, which is a little bit gutting, but the box is actually quite nice. It's suffering from the glue goes on there, but it's really easy, because originally it would have had just like a little bit of double-sided tape, which I've still got. I just haven't got round to repairing it. It's literally just a bit of double-sided tape. Jobs are good, and it happens a lot with these Psygnosis boxes. But yeah, Big Mike, he sent me the link. Buy it now. So I don't really look at buy it nows. All I'll do is I have a search list for auctions, Amiga auction games. So I miss a lot of buy it nows, and this was like 40 quid buy it now, and I believe I offered something like 30, I think. 35 posted, something like that. I think it might have been something like 45 posted, and I got like a tenner off. So yeah, really happy with that, because there's only a couple of Psygnosis games I'm after, and they're really hard to get hold of. Arena and Braticus and Flink, actually. Flink on the CD32 I'd love to add. So yeah, really happy with that. So yeah, huge thanks to Big Mike. Right, so onto this bundle. Like they're all the games I've sort of bought singly, but I ended up getting this bundle. It's a really, really long story, but basically the guy, he put a game, which I'm going to leave up till the end because it was really expensive, really sought after game, that I ended up winning on eBay auction, which I was happy about. But I'd say I'll get back to that. But that was the first one I got off of him. But then he put a bundle on again, buy it now for 200 quid, which I bought. Only about 10 games, but there was a few games I wanted in there. Then he put another bundle on for 200 quid. Again, about 10, 12 games, which I just bought because there was a couple of games I wanted and I knew I'd get my money back. And then he put a third bundle on there for 200 quid, which I just bought. And to then he was just because I'd asked him before. I said, like, oh, God, I'd love to see a picture of all the stuff you've got. Maybe we could do a deal, which he weren't really interested at first. But then I think when he saw me just buying up all of his stuff, all untested, he then sent me his number. Because basically I said, oh yeah, like he was like, oh, you're loving these bundles, and I was like, yeah, like there's a few games that I've been after for a while in there. I said I will be selling the ones I'm not after because I'm a big Amiga collector and there's going to be duplicates in there. To that, the last bundle I bought for 200 quid, which was probably the best bundle, he just cancelled, and I thought, like what's he doing? And he sent me a message back saying, look, if you're going to be selling some of these games, he said, let's just put you a bundle together that you do actually want. And I was like, well, yeah, fair enough. Like I say, as long as the price is right, because obviously I was happy with that last bundle, what I was getting. So obviously the games even that I didn't want, I knew I could get decent money for and get my money back, and then it makes it all worth it. But anyway, he sent me pictures of everything he had, and I was like, Jesus, there's a lot of stuff in there. I said, just out of curiosity, how much do you want for the lot? And I think because I spent so much on the very first game, he knew I weren't mucking around. And I'd even sent him a picture of my collection, just say, look, I'm not reselling. Look, I just want games for my collection, not trying to mug you off. He done me an amazing deal. So basically, he cancelled the last 200 quid bundle, and then said for the rest of it, it was 450 quid, he said, for the rest. So it would have worked out about 850 quid. And I said no. I said add 50 to that. I said I'll give you 500. Bearing in mind, it would have only been about 300 quid more than what the other bundle was. So basically, I bought about 10 to 12 games, or about 20 odd games for about 400 quid. Then there was about another 10 games for another 200 quid, which he cancelled. And then he sent me pictures of, no word of a lie, probably about 200 games, and said the rest for like 450. So it would have been an extra 250. It was ridiculous. I was like, I don't know, like I just know that like the background of it, it was a bit like a repossession, I think, something like that. I don't know, not quite sure what he does for a living, but I know they didn't cost him anything, and I believe he was being put up to get them destroyed, which would have been absolutely gutting when you see what's in here. But him and his mates, maybe even his manager, I think they were sort of splitting the money. And with the other stuff I didn't get, because obviously I didn't get everything, he sold other stuff on eBay. I think he'd made the best part of 2.5, 3 grand, which he was happy with. So he just weren't being greedy. He saw they were coming to a good home. And basically, I say over about 200 games, I think I've sold about 2/3 already. And I've literally made all my money back and a little bit more. And he also sent me, because he forgot about 5 games, and I felt rude going back, but I said, there was one game in there that I knew a friend wanted. So I went back to him and said, look, these are missing. Like I said, I could buy them off you again if you like, or cover postage. He was like, no. Like the deal was done. Like it's my mistake. I've left them on that shelf exactly where I took the picture from. He said, I'll get them down to you. And then when he did send them down, he put even more games in there. And I ended up sending him more money because it was just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, that's the long story short. Let's just show what we've got. There's not a particular order. I think I'll start with bigger box games. So some of these I'm not going to know anything about. Some I will. But anyway, first up, Roger Rabbit. Absolutely love Jessica Rabbit. So I'm keeping this one, even though I think it's a pretty atrocious game. And I have tested a lot of these as well. And I know some of them were stored not that great. Some of them had sort of stains actually in the box. But when I was selling them, obviously I was very honest about that. But they obviously was all stored differently, because some of them are absolute minters and some of them were not that good at all. But obviously everything I've kept, I'm pretty happy with. Right, so we've got Roger Rabbit. We have got World Games by Epix. I've always liked games like this. I think I booted it, but I haven't actually played it. But again, it's not one you see too often. But I've always liked epic sort of Olympic sort of games, like summer games, winter games, stuff like that. We've got Foundations Waste. Really, it's again not too sought after, I don't think, and I don't think it's too expensive either. I've seen the I believe it got PC Hits budget version, but this is the full release version. It's not great, but it's a shooter. Like, absolutely love them. Love shooters. So that's being kept. We've got another Psygnosis game. This is just an upgrade. I already own this. In fact, I've got to swap it out and sell my copy. Even though I don't think my copy was that bad. I think it just had a little bit of squashing, where this is, as I say, really, really nice. This game, I'd never heard of. New York Warriors. And it's really good. It's like a Commando clone. I've chucked some gameplay a few of these, which like standout ones. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I think Lemon Amiga rated it about 7, something like that, 7.2, maybe. So I'm just guessing it. I'm sure it's between 7 and 8. So I was keen to try that, and yeah, I was actually really impressed with it. A little bit of slowdown, but for an early game, I just thought it was really cool. This is another upgrade, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a box that gets absolutely battered. Again, it's got a bit of creasing, but compared to the other one, I know Retro Chef was interested. I put it on the old Swap Shop, but then after Swap Shop, like literally a day after, because I'd done that on a Sunday, I had a deal on eBay to list, and I just put everything I weren't keeping and didn't sell on Facebook groups in one bundle, and the rough copy was in there. And I know Lee didn't ask me until afterwards, and I thought, well, the auction's already started, people are bidding, so I just had to let that go. But to be honest, it was a pretty rough copy anyway, so I don't think he would have been that happy with it once I sent him more pics. LED Storm, it is LED Storm. I love these boxes, these Capcom wide boxes, and I don't actually own many of them. I've got a lot of Capcom games, but I think there was about 3 or 4 in boxes like this. I know I've finally seen a 1943 in this box, which I'm a little bit gutted about. I never thought it got a full release, but somebody on the collectors group showed it. I've never seen it in years. But yeah, there are a few more in a box like this. I think Tiger Road. But yeah, this is my first long box one. I believe I'm only after about 4 other Capcom games, and I think 2 or 3 of them are in that sort of box, that style box. So yeah, happy to add that one from the list. Next up, we've got Road Wars. There was quite a few Melbourne House games in that bundle actually, and this looked quite interesting. Really nice condition actually, but such a nostalgic label, that Melbourne House. I know they did the home conversion of Double Dragon, even though it weren't very good. I've got a lot of nostalgia for it. But I actually sold a Melbourne House. I wasn't going to fall in that trap of going for like a full Melbourne House list subset, because there was just a couple of games that just didn't interest me in the slightest. But this looked quite cool. This is Rockford. Looks a bit like sort of Dig Dug, but I thought that was a pretty cool game. Again, another Melbourne House game. But yeah, I thought that was quite cool. I mean, it says the arcade game, but I don't think... Oh, so it features the famous character from Boulder Dash. So yeah, never knew that. So that's why it's a bit like Dig Dug then. What we got next? We've got, this is a game that I know Big Mike showed recently, Garrison. A complete rip-off of Gauntlet. But yeah, cool box. Really cool, like clamshell box. So I thought I'd keep that one. I'm really stacking these up, aren't I? I never really liked stacking these up too high and getting squashed boxes. Next up, this one's a bit squashed anyway. This was touch and go whether I was keeping it or not, but Gold Runner. I might get an upgrade on this and try and get the sequel in the big box as well. I think I've got the budget versions of these. But there's not many micro deal games I haven't got, to be honest. It's quite interesting actually, Gold Runner. It's you use a mouse, it's like a vertical shooter. It's not too bad for an early game. And then we've got Insanity Flight. I've got so many Amiga shooters now, it's unreal. This again, being micro deal, is quite early. Nothing to write home about that one. A couple more shooters we have here. I believe, I mean, they're both on the same label. I've had them both before, but not in these style box. I had this one in the same box, so this is an upgrade, and I'm going to keep my copy for Eddie, Rollercore. I know he wanted it. And Star Ray I had in like a medium-sized box, so I've ended up getting rid of that and just keeping... I preferred these boxes, to be honest. I thought they look a lot better. So, yep, Star Ray, Star Goose. Both, I think one of them's like a Defender clone, actually. Not Star Goose, obviously. Star Ray, I think's like a Defender clone. But yeah, from what I'm hearing, they're not that bad. They're not atrocious. Then we've got Capone. Both of these next ones, again, they're both on the same label, this Actionware label, and POW. They're both light gun games, a bit sort of Operation Wolf-esque. Obviously this one's going to be like probably set in like New York or somewhere, and this is more in the old jungle. But yeah, I haven't even tried either of these. I do actually own a light gun. It says it's Actionware light gun compatible. I don't think mine's an Actionware light gun. I'm not sure. But yeah, I thought they were both quite cool, so I've kept those. Then a couple more off my list coming up. The dwindling list. Being Capcom, got to have it. Mercs. Like you'd think that this would be really popular and easy to find, but it just don't come up. Again, a little bit squashing. I mean, it's a solid 7, but I wouldn't give it 7 for the actual game. It's not that good. And then this is actually a variant, Strider 2. My version's in a medium-sized box, but when this big box came, and it's obviously not cost me anything, that's not going to go anywhere. Keeping that. What do we go on to now? Let's go on to the medium-sized boxes. I'm actually getting through these quicker than I thought. If I can keep this video under half hour, I'll be quite happy. Next up, we've got Barbarian 2. Again, another upgrade. I think mine had everything in it, but my one didn't work. And this one did. This one does work. For some reason, I had 2 copies of this, and both versions done exactly the same thing. Made a horrific loading noise, as if it was like breaking the drive, whereas this one doesn't. It loads absolutely fine. So really happy to add that one. This one's a rare one, the Champ. At first it was in my sort of my selling list, but then I noticed it's got the Rocky theme on it, and yeah, it's an absolutely awful game, but it's extremely rare on Hall of Light. So yeah, I'm going to keep that one. Everyone knows I love my compilations. I've actually got quite a lot of these on budget, things like Seconds Out, Mousetrap, and Pluto's. I don't know if it's pronounced Plutos or Pluto's. I don't remember. I remember that being not too bad. That Suicide Mission was absolutely rock solid when I was trying that. But yeah, I don't mind a compilation. I really don't. Next up we have Prehistoric. Looks like a bit of a generic puzzler, or generic platformer, shall I say, from Titus. I mean, general rule of thumb, a lot of Titus games are not very good. But again, there was quite a few of them in this bundle, and I've sort of kept them all to one side. I might keep them. Well, at the moment they're in my keep list, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm doing with room down the line. Another one off my list, Gremlin, Axel's Magic Hammer. Again, another pretty generic platformer. But in lovely condition, this one. Really nice. Really happy with that. In fact, a lot of these medium-sized boxes were in really nice condition. Push them back. Next up, Torak the Warrior. Again, it's another game that it doesn't really. Well, I don't know if it appeals to me. I don't know if it's a bit of like a Rastan clone or something. But it's core design, so that's the reason I'm keeping it. A very nostalgic publisher, and again another one where I've actually got quite a few core games. I might get a few more that I haven't got and have the whole set. Never heard of this one. I don't think that's pronounced right. I think it's just one R like Scream. Zombies Revenge. Yeah, Melbourne House. Again, it doesn't look that good. I haven't even tried this one yet, but quite cool artwork. I mean, to be honest, I'm guessing everyone does it. I suppose with the console stuff, because you pretty much see it all and there's not as many games available. But when I see artwork on Amiga that I don't see much or even at all, it just appeals. And that's what I like about Amiga collecting. The amount of times you see stuff you've just never seen before. Then we've got Viz. I was never into this, to be honest, as a kid. I sort of half remember the comics, but yeah, don't really remember too much. Again, a Virgin game. I've got a lot of Virgin games. Maybe another subset on the horizon, but I know there was a lot of Virgin games that came out. Now this one's a massive upgrade. Lost Patrol, really sought after, highly rated game on the Ocean label, and it's in really nice condition. My one was battered. My one was absolutely battered. It's still up there. So yeah, really happy with that upgrade. Let's keep them separate, shall we? What we've got next? This was a game on my list. Frenetic. It's a shooter, vertical shooter, again from Core Design. Again, one you don't see that often, and it is quite sought after. When I'd loaded it, I thought it was a little bit sluggish, but it was alright. Like more than playable. Really, yeah, really playable shooter. Quite happy with that. A couple more upgrades here. Judge Dredd. My one was a little bit worse for wear. I'm not sure if mine even had the poster, because what I've found with a lot of these games, they come with like everything that's supposed to be in there. This guy obviously looked after his games, and the amount of I've seen in there with the receipts in there as well. So the guy, I think, was collecting for a long time. Again, another upgrade, Skull and Crossbones. I picked this up, I think it might have been on my last Amiga pickups vid. The only thing with this is it's got a bit of a rip there, but other than that, it's in really nice condition. And again, the one I bought, even though it didn't cost me that much, it was a bit squashed, whereas this one, so it's really nice. This was one of the games actually in the last box he sent down to me that I knew was coming, and that was another reason why I wanted to get it down here, because it was one I wanted, and it's After the War. Again, not one you see often. I've played it a little bit. It's not very good. There's a running theme with this, isn't there? Maybe that's why these Amiga games are so rare, because they're just not very good. I don't know. This one, Sir Fred. Again, I'd never seen it before, and for a Ubisoft game in these boxes, or Ubisoft, I always used to say Ubisoft, and I've seen a few people say Ubisoft, but I don't know. What do you reckon? Yeah, it's good. It's lovely condition for how fragile the box is. Game seemed a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what Lemon Amiga rated it. Yeah, it was just literally like a hack and slash from what I saw. Another one, don't see often. Loved the cartoon as a kid. Tom and Jerry. I think it's a bit of a sort of a collecting game. You sort of go around collecting stuff to do other stuff. Again, not really my genre. But yeah, boxing, lovely condition. And yeah, because I'd never really seen it, it's staying in there. This was on the list. That's what I mean. Like, bearing in mind, when you've got as many games, Amiga games as I've got, when you do see these bundles now, there's very rarely stuff I even want. And to get a bundle this big, and I must have had, like in this bundle alone, probably, I think I had about 30 odd games on the list, and I think I've knocked off about 15 from one bundle, which is unbelievable. Dynasty Wars. I think this is the last Capcom game I was after in this style, purple medium box. Love these boxes as well. So yeah, well happy with that one. And sticking with the purple boxes, this is an upgrade. I didn't realise when I took my Ghouls and Ghost box out, it actually was an Atari ST box, whereas obviously this one's Amiga. So yeah, well happy. It just felt like some of the games that was in these bundles, they were just filling gaps. Like I got quite a lot of other upgrades from it as well, which I'm not going to show. Things like St. Dragon, it only come in like a Jiffy bag, not a Jiffy bag, but like a polythene bag, and it had the badge in there. I never had the badge. I had a few little bonuses like that. I don't think I'd ever seen this one before. DuckTales. Again, another Titus game, so I know it's not going to be that good. I did load it up, and it didn't look very good. Because I've tested so many of these. Wifey's not been happy that I've literally had games all over the table and everything while selling stuff. Again, another game. This is awful, actually. This is it's a crosshair game, so it's not a light gun, but you use a joystick. It's atrocious. It's so bad. But I've definitely seen it, but it's just not something you see that often. But look, everything's in there, like poster, stickers, in lovely condition. This one, yeah, and it's cool. It's just cool artwork. How cool is that? Love that. And then another game that I've owned for a long time on just disc only, and that's Predator 2. And again, it was in such nice condition. I thought I'd just keep it. Let's start another pile. Then next up, again, I think Big Mike showed this the other month as well, Rock and Roll. Really cool little game this. It's a bit like, would you say sort of Marble Madness maybe? Maybe, something like that. I mean, you use a joystick, but yeah, it's not a bad game. Quite cool. Now this was a big surprise actually, Phantom Fighter. Never heard of it, completely never heard of it. And it's actually quite a fun little shooter. Don't get me wrong, really basic, obviously it's a really early game. Like a lot of these games are, they're early games. Yeah, I was quite enjoying it. It's like a horizontal shooter, and then I got to the second level and it turned into a vertical shooter. Just, yeah, I just thought it was quite cool. The only reason I've kept hold of this one, I think it's a French publisher. Lariciel. I know it's they published Jim Power, and this is a Super Squeak. To be honest, again, I'd never heard of it. Again, it was in nice condition, so I'll check that out. Now on to Titus games. There's quite a few here. We've got Crazy Cars. I've got the sequel of Crazy Cars, but I don't actually have the third one. Although I've got the Lamborghini Challenge, which I believe is the same game as Crazy Cars 3. Quote me if I'm wrong. Yeah, it is what it is. I don't believe it's an amazing game, but I don't know. The Crazy Cars series has always been quite nostalgic to me. Then we've got Offshore Warrior. I did actually give this a go. The collision detection wasn't that great, but again, it was just a really nice box. And I do quite like these boxes as well, that they sort of open up like that. I don't know, just weird variants. I'm going to knock all these down at some point, aren't I? I'm not impressed. And then I know this one's pretty shocking. Fire and Forget. To be honest, it's quite similar to that Offshore Warrior, but in like a buggy. Yeah, not that great, but again, it's in really nice condition. And then Galactic Conqueror. Really boring game. It's trying to be a bit like Galaxy Force, but yeah, it fails. I mean, to be honest, Galaxy Force isn't that good either. So yeah, that's not a great one. That. Right, what else have we got? Let's go on to. I'll show you this actually quickly. I know that RMC shows he uses this controller as like a mascot, doesn't he? I can't remember what he calls it. But yeah, the Cheetah Tortoise always reminds me of my nan. My nan's Scottish, passed away quite a few years ago, sadly, but she used to call it Tortoise. She used to say Tortoise, not Tortoise, Tortoise. I love that. Anyway, I don't know what it does. I've no idea what you use it for. I still haven't even plugged it in, but yeah, anyone in the comments tell me what this actually does. Is it used as a sort of mouse? Is it used as a joystick? I have absolutely no idea, but it's the weirdest controller I've ever messed around with. This one I was really happy to get. This was in one of the 200 quid bundles, and it's behind me. Big Box Barbarian, full release, clamshell. Again, you would think it would be so popular, and it just isn't. It just isn't popular at all. It got obviously a budget release, but yeah, this is the proper Amiga box. I think it got a release on C64 as well in the same box. So yeah, really happy when that was in there. Now onto the clamshells, and there's quite a few of them. And as I said earlier, I've got a real soft spot for clamshells. First up, we've got Warzone. Absolutely awful. Don't buy it if you see it. Like, step on it or something. It's really rubbish. This one was quite interesting. Pinball Wizard. And basically, I mean, I put it on the collectors group, and a couple was like, "Oh my god, have you never seen that before in any game?" And the thing is, I played a lot of commercial games. I didn't really play PD games, so I'm guessing it was probably more popular on there. But basically, when you reset it, like using the 3 keys, it wouldn't actually reset. It would laugh at you. Like if you like tried. I'll put a little clip in it. But your 3 key it sort of goes to reset, but then it just comes back, like the screen's on there and it's just laughing, like loads of laughter in the background, a bit like the laughing Thriller. And I've just never seen that before. Like, it's as if it's like mocking you for turning the game off, and then you press the mouse button and it does actually reset. I've just never seen that in a game, in an Amiga game. This one was a bit of a surprise. It's obviously an Arkanoid rip-off or breakout, whichever way you go. But it's actually really decent. The sounds are a bit basic, but it just plays really, really nicely. Like, it's really smooth, really fast. You use the mouse, so you've got that. Like, I can't play them sort of bat and ball games with a joystick. Yeah, was really surprised. Again, I've seen that on eBay before. It's not expensive. I'd recommend that to anyone, to be honest. It's quite a cool, playable little game. A few Codemasters games. I believe I already own this. Pub Trivia. I'm sure I've got that, but again, I wouldn't mind getting all the Codemasters sort of budgets. BMX Simulator. I played this a lot on C64, but I'm 99% sure I don't own it on Amiga anymore. I'm pretty sure I have owned it. So yeah, not sure about that. This one was quite interesting. Soldier of Light. This is Zane Selena on the arcade. Again, bit of a run and gun, bit of a sort of Turrican clone, if you like. I never really liked the arcade game, but I know there are people out there that do. I always thought it was a little bit boring. This one I'd literally never seen. Alien Strike. Yeah, it's not very good, but again, on Hall of Light, no box scan or anything like that. And I think when you don't see box scans and stuff like that on Hall of Light, you know it's pretty rare. Not obviously not necessarily sought after, but yeah, pretty rare. Another one on my list, Battleships Elite game. Now I thought there is a box scan of this on Hall of Light, and I thought that it was like a medium-sized cardboard box, but yeah, obviously it's not, and it's not actually a bad game. I do actually quite like Battleships. Yeah, I was playing that the other night against the computer. That absolutely done me. Then we've got Neverworld, again another Hewson game that it's a bit like a shooter. It reminds me a little bit like Whiz Ball. You sort of like this little ship, if you like, sort of like flying around shooting stuff. It seemed all right, not mind blowing by any means. Then we've got Fusion. I still don't think I've tried this. I mean, it's an arcade style shoot 'em up, it's saying, like a multi-directional shoot 'em up. So, being it's an EA game, and Bullfrog, to be honest. I mean, I'm actually expecting good things from this. I don't know why I haven't tried that yet. I'm going to give that one a go. Fusion. This one I'd never seen ever, and it's Mach 3. Don't know anything about this. It looks like a bit of a 3D shooter, a bit like, again, like Galaxy Force, it looks like on the back. Yep, don't know anything about that. Now this one I do own. I say it's Firebird. I love that label, but it's Enlightenment Druid 2, and I know I've owned this. I remember doing this actually on a video, and it's again a little bit like a Gauntlet clone, but I don't remember. So a lot of my dual case games were in the loft, but I don't remember it having this book. It's got like a little book inside it. So until I dig that out, I won't be moving that one on as a double yet. I was quite interested in that. A few more dual cases. We're nearly at the end. We're on the home straight. We got Trivia Trove. I've got a lot of nostalgia about these Anko boxes, even though like I know that's going to be awful, but I don't get rid of Anko games. And then this one, yeah, this one was hard as anything, but it was a playable shooter. It's XR35 Fighter Mission. Yeah, horizontal shooter. It's not that bad. It was just really, really hard. In fact, it was like stupidly hard. That was the game I was playing the other night. Yeah, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. You've literally got just planes just flying at you. I think it's that one anyway. I might correct myself when I go through the other games. Joe Blade. Yeah, again, I know it's a bit of a weird game actually. I mean, I don't know. When I was playing this the other day, you don't actually see your bullets, which I thought was quite strange. Like as you fire, you don't see the bullet actually come out. I don't know if that's just a glitch in that game, but I might check that out on YouTube and see if that's just my game. Then we've got, right, honestly, home straight, guys. We've got Future Tank. This wasn't too bad actually. I mean, it's a Rainbow Arts game. Obviously, it's on the Highlights budget label. Wasn't too bad. Again, a little bit like Tanks, if you like, where you sort of go around shooting other tanks, and then you go shoot around, and I think like looking for an exit. This is a weird one. Am I gonna pronounce this right? Mechanicus. Again, another Rainbow Arts game, and Rainbow Arts games tend to be quite sought after. This one's extremely rare on Hall of Light, but I'm guessing that's the full release. I'm guessing it got a full release, and it is really rare. But I know that Retro Pixels is asking something stupid like 300 quid for that game, because that was a game he actually, the guy had done a bit of research, and he put that game up for quite expensive. And when he was showing me, he was like, "Oh yeah, this game's really rare," and I was like, "Yeah, it might be rare, but it's not worth that. I don't believe. I think I'll be very surprised." Then we've got Powerdrome. Again, another EA game that I know nothing about. Battle Chess, I believe I already own that. Case is a bit broken on that one, but I don't actually mind that game. I thought it was quite cool when you sort of take each other's pieces and that, and they beat each other up. World Gig. Again, it's on that Firebird logo. So yeah, I was really happy to get that one, because I say something about that Firebird logo. Same as this one, Black Lamp. Really cool game. I say it's a cool game. I think it's actually quite a bad game, but I think it was better on the 8-bits. But again, you just don't see it. I've seen it quite a few times for the ST, but not the Amiga. Then we've got Garfield. I mean, the sprites on this, and the animation on this is actually really good. But again, it's one of those sort of games, I think, where you're walking around collecting stuff to do other stuff, which again is not really my genre. This was laughably funny, well, laughably bad, should I say? That didn't make sense. Yeah, laughably bad. It's Bangkok Nights by System 3. I'm sure I don't know if I've got this in a compilation, but when I loaded this up, I'm sure I've played it. It's no IK Plus. I don't know what they were thinking of. I really don't. I'm guessing it was before IK Plus. Then we've got Western Games. I might even let this one go. I'm not sure. I don't know much about it. It just seems like a bit of a multi-event sort of game with like mini games on there. This one I was quite happy to get. Star Wars. I don't own the standalone Star Wars games. Obviously I own this one now, but I don't own Empire Strikes Back or Jedi. I've got the trilogy, but I think if I see the other two going quite cheap, I'll just get them. And then we've got SAS Combat Simulator. Yeah, not great this one, but yeah, Codemasters. So I'm going to see if I can get all those boxes. And then we've got Speedboat Assassins. In fact, this is the game I was thinking of with the bad collision. It wasn't the Offshore Warrior, but they look like quite similar games. But yeah, this wasn't that good at all. But it's something about jewel cases where they don't take up much room, so I do usually just keep them. Right, the last box that the guy sent, when he sent down with other games in there, I couldn't believe when I opened it and found this. I've been bugging a guy called Adam. He's a big Amiga collector that I speak to quite a lot. Because I've only ever seen this once. I only thought this got a budget release, but obviously not. Thundercats on the Elite label, full release. I've seen this again as a couple of budget releases, and even though it's not a very good game, I was absolutely blown away when I opened the box and found this. Don't get me wrong, I was really happy with Battleships as well, because it's a game I've been looking for a while, because there was only there was 4 games on the Elite label that I didn't have, this being one of them, Battleships and Wanderer 3D, and to find them all within a month. Literally, these two got sent to me. I didn't even know. Like, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Because I say I was bugging Adam for ages to sell it to me, but he's sort of going for an Elite set as well, and he said himself he'd never seen it before. Again, on Hall of Light, there's no box scan, only the budgets. Yeah, blown away by that game. So happy getting that. And there's only one more I need now on the Elite label, and that's Beyond the Ice Palace. So yeah, absolutely blown away. The last game, what did I get? my first game off this guy. I say he did send this one first. The rest came as a bundle, but this was the first game I got off the guy, off eBay. Really badly advertised. The disc was actually over the inlay where it would have said like Amiga disc, and I know that there was a copy going around of this on Atari ST. It was an Amiga disc with an Atari ST inlay, and I suppose a few people thought it might have been that because there was literally one picture of it with, I'd say, disc covering inlay, not tested, and I think it was a 2-day auction that was ending at like 12:30 at night. And I ended up getting it for, I think, a pretty good price. I'll be honest, I do know my prices, but with this, I've never actually seen it change hands, like ever. So I've just never known the prices of it. I've been told you're looking at 500 plus. I ended up getting it for 325, which by far is the most expensive Amiga game I've bought. I would say it probably doubles it. But yeah, absolutely, like just so happy because the thing is, with all the other games and everything selling, it would have been about 900 odd for the bundle, plus this 300 odd pound game. So it all would have owed me about 1,300 quid. And as I say, I think I've made, after I've sold everything, I think I got about 1,400 back. So all of this has been, obviously barring the first couple of games, has been for nothing basically, and including this, and it's the Great Gianna Sisters. I'm guessing a lot of you probably guessed that. Those that don't know, if you're either new to the channel or even new to the Amiga, it's a Mario clone that got pulled off the shelves quite early after Nintendo was threatening legal action. Yeah, to be fair, it plays really good. It plays a good game. I mean, I've may have even said it on the channel. It was a game I never thought I would own because I was never prepared to pay the money of what people ask for it. And the only reason, I think, you sort of change your mind about things, don't you? Like if you, like me now, I have bought a few other bits, and as I say, when I do my walk round, my next video, I've bought a few other nice bits. I've even had a gift off Craig's here again, which I'll show as well. Like, I won't do it on this video, but he gifted me an Amiga game I was after, which I'm blown away by, which I'll show in the next video. But I think where I'm not picking up as much stuff, because do you know what I mean? There's not really much stuff I'm after, and as I say, the Amiga games I'm after, I'm struggling to get them. So the pot just builds up. And then yeah, when this came up, I thought I've got the money there. Bang! I just pulled the trigger on it. But anyway, I've bored you for long enough. I have no idea how long this video is because I always point the camera at me, so I can't see anything on the other side. Until next time, YouTube, I hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, I'm going to get another video out with me walk around. Until then, I'll catch up with you soon. Bye bye.